Finding the best hair loss protocol has been a long journey for me so far, and I'm definitely far from there. But I've gotten a lot of knowledge over the years from doing trial and errors on hair loss supplements, trying out different dosages, and in general just seeing what works for me. And one of the reasons I'm doing these videos is not only am I trying to provide some information for you guys, but the videos also serve as a big learning point for me personally, as I just go along and learn while creating these videos. The last couple of years has been filled with a lot of ups and downs for me, especially while I was trying to keep using enhanced supplements for my workouts while trying to fight the hair loss that my previous relationship with androgenic hormones has caused. And of course, I already know what some of you guys are going to say.
Well, that is just your own problem.
And yes, indeed, that is a me problem and not a you problem. But in sharing my failures and my successes, I hope to provide some experience for you guys out there who might be in the same situation or somewhat similar situation, or if you just want to see how the different approaches will yield results over the years. I've been trying out a bunch of different supplements, from the classic minoxidil to the more experimental redensil, and all the way to CB0301 and pyrolutamide. And it has not always been a fun ride, to be honest. I tried to deal with the face swelling from minoxidil, but ended up deciding that it wouldn't work out for me, leading to a shedding phase and losing all of the minoxidil gains. Then trying out CB0301 with some decent results, but not something I found to be strong enough for me personally. Going off RU58841 to try out pyrolutamide, not once but twice, until the studies showing pyrolutamide to be very ineffective in phase 2 came out, leaving me with a major setback once again. Going on and off Finasteride because I was unsure about the side effects, the so-called post-Finasteride syndrome, to end up going back on it when I finally decided that I probably was having a nocebo effect from all the scary stories that I heard about Finasteride. And just to clarify, I do believe in post-Finasteride syndrome, but I also believe that not all get it. And I do believe that it is possible to reverse it, even though that, some might have other opinions on that subject. And all of this has led me to the place I am today, where I'm currently taking a 1-year break from trying out new supplements to replace RU58841, just staying on Finasteride and doing my microneedling. I do have one thing coming up that I'll talk about later in this video, but let's take a look at the current status, what I'm doing now and how things are going. I made a few changes, but not a lot since last time, and it seems like it is working out for me, to be honest. What I'm really surprised about is the fact that I decided to change my TRT from 120 milligrams of testosterone weekly up to 200 milligrams, since honestly I just wanted to add a bit more muscle that I lost from the last year's lack of consistent training and diet. And it hasn't really affected me negatively at any point regarding my hair loss. So currently I'm doing 1 milligram of Finasteride daily, although I am moving to Finland to live very soon, so I'm looking into whether it is possible to get a prescription for Finasteride over there. I am still doing 1 milliliter of the 80 milligram or 8% strength solution from Anagen Inc. every night before bedtime. And I will say I feel a clear difference between the 5% solution and the 8% solution. So if you're using the 5% solution and considering switching it up, I honestly think it is worth the few extra dollars. Also, you can use the code Blueprint at checkout for a 10% discount from Anagen Inc. And that will more or less even out the difference if you want to test out the stronger version. Ketocana salt shampoo, twice weekly. It's proven, it's tested, so there's no really need to change anything there. and then 1 millimeter microneedling once a week. I changed my microneedling from 1.5 to just 1 millimeter, since I ended up deciding that 1 millimeter, according to most studies, yielded the best results comparing to the risk you're taking. And I don't want to risk anything by going harder when 1 millimeter seems to be working out for me. I do have considered adding rosemary oil to my combination, since honestly a lot of people seem to have a really positive experience using that as a supplement. And last thing, I still do try and avoid as much processed food as possible, since it increases inflammation, and as I've explained before several times, inflammation is one of the biggest problems that people with androgenic alopecia is struggling with. And the last thing that I'm certainly going to introduce in the near future is PRP treatments for my hair loss. I'm not gonna go into details on this matter in this video, but when I'm done moving to Finland, I plan on starting PRP treatments on a somewhat monthly basis, so there's definitely going to be some exciting new experiments with this in the upcoming videos. Regarding my current status, there's not a lot of change happening, but I do think that it's also getting harder and harder to spot the changes, since it's way more easy to spot changes when I had a bare scalp shown in the previous videos, and now that I have a somewhat full yet kinda thin coverage on my scalp, it's harder to spot the difference. One place that is finally starting to catch up is the crown area, and I'm overall happy with the current status. Considering last year's trial with paralutamide, my increased testosterone dosage, and the overall starting point with my hair loss. So all in all, things are going pretty well, and until I'm moving to Finland and starting my PRP treatments, I don't think I'm gonna switch anything up currently. I'll just stick with it and see how much density I can get from this proven yet still workful solution and protocol that I'm using. If you want to see more videos with real before and after pictures from RU58841 and Finasteride, I have a really interesting video with Derek from More Plates More Dates, where I take a deep dive into his history with RU58841 and how the product changed his hairline completely. This is something you definitely want to see.